Welcome to Fanterview. In Fanterview, we host a fan from all over the world and talk about their favorite artist. So this week, who are we going to meet? Which artist are we going to talk about? Where is this fan's from? How is the K-pop culture in this fan's country? Let's go find out right now. So, before we begin our interview, could you please introduce yourself to me? So, who are you? Let's get to know each other.
Okay, well, hi, my name is Maya. I'm 23 years old and I'm from India originally,
Mm-hmm.
but now I live in the US.
Mm-hmm.
I've been living here for the past 8 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I don't know, I recently graduated from college
Mm-hmm.
and um, yeah, that's about it.
All right, Maya, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Good. I just want to ask you a few questions about K-pop culture in your country.
Sure.
So we know that K-pop is everywhere nowadays, and US, like everyone knows K-pop and enjoys K-pop, but how is the K-pop culture in DC? Like, could you please tell me like the K-pop community or a special culture in your region?
Um, I'm actually not super familiar with the K-pop culture in DC, um, but I know we have like a K-pop store, so that's already something,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I know we've had quite a few groups come have concerts in DC.
Oh wow, which are the
Um,
groups that visited your
so
town?
I I don't know all of them, but I've seen Astro in DC. Um, and MONSTA X were supposed to come on their tour that got canceled
Oh.
because of COVID. But they did come on their very first world tour as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's definitely a demand. We do have like cup sleeve events every now and again. Um, Unfortunately, I don't know many K-pop stands in
Mm-hmm.
my area.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to know more,
Mm-hmm.
but there is definitely there's definitely a demand, I would say, for like K-pop events and stuff in the area. I think groups need to more groups should come tour here once concerts do happen.
I agree. You also mentioned a cup sleeve event. Is that like a big thing in DC or the US right now?
I think definitely on the West Coast, I see it on Twitter all the time. They're always having cup sleeve events.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much on the East Coast. I went to college in New York, so in New York there's like a couple events every now and again.
Mm.
Um, Down here in DC, there's a lot of like BTS events and NCT, but not so much for smaller groups. I'm actually planning on hosting one myself in November.
Oh wow! Can you please tell
Yeah,
me a bit more about that, or is that a little bit of a spoiler alert?
no, sure. It's for MONSTA X, of course. So it's to celebrate Kihyun and Minhyuk's birthdays
Mm-hmm.
because they're like 2 weeks apart, so it felt like a perfect like joint celebration.
Uh-huh.
Um, and it's going to be themed kind of we're gonna like look back at their like past achievements and things
Mm-hmm.
and like decorate it accordingly. And my friend and I are actually doing a collaboration, so I'm hosting one in DC and she's hosting one in LA, and it's the same event, just
Wow!
different locations. Yeah.
That's so exciting!
Thank you. Yeah, I'm very excited for it.
So is it like a themed cup sleeve cafe event, or are you doing things like an exhibition or things like that?
Yeah, so it's going to be at a cafe. Hopefully, I've reached out to a couple of different ones. I'm just trying to pick the best one for the event. And we're gonna decorate it a little bit like an exhibition with like
Mm-hmm.
pictures, photos from them from debut till now, things like that.
Oh, that's so exciting.
So yeah, thank you.
Wow. Well, I hope that things get a bit more settled, and I hope you can successfully and happily run the event. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you, thank you. I hope so too. I hope it all goes well.
I hope it will definitely go well. I hope so. Great. So, you said you moved to the US about 8 years ago, and were you into K-pop before moving to the US, or did you get to know K-pop when you moved here?
I unfortunately was not into K-pop when I was in India, but actually I had friends who were really into it
Mm-hmm.
back then. Um, so I only got involved in like K-pop culture once I moved here, but I do remember like my friends used to show me like Big Bang videos and like GD and things like that. So like K-pop is everywhere. And it's just crazy to think about it. Like even when I wasn't into K-pop, I was still aware of it.
I see. So, what was like the moment you got into K-pop? Which was like who or any event?
So actually, it was Astro that got me into K-pop,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, I was really into K-dramas. I really liked K-dramas before I got into K-pop, and I happened to watch the one that Astro was in.
Mm-hmm.
It's called To Be Continued, and it was like before they debuted.
Oh, one of
So
their
they all,
pre-debut drama acting thing.
yeah, and it wasn't that great. It was kind of silly, but I got really invested in it. And then by the end of the drama, I realized that they were actually a K-pop group. So I Googled it and I watched their music videos, and then I fell in love with them. And from there on, it's history.
So, this is the fun time now. Let's get down to the business.
All right.
Okay, so who is your favorite artist?
So my favorite artist is MONSTA X. Monsta.
Great. So, of course I know who MONSTA X is, but imagine that I know nothing about them, and please tell me who they are and why I should stand them.
Okay. So MONSTA X are a boy group under Starship Entertainment. They debuted in 2015. Yes, that's correct, 2015. um, and there is currently 6 members. So there's Shonu, Minhyuk, Jinhyun, Hyungwon, Juhan, and I am. And why someone should stand MONSTA X if they don't know about MONSTA X? Their music is amazing, first of all. Like, their music is great, and I think they have a wide range, and anyone can find something they like in MONSTA X's discography. But also, I think MONSTA X have a very like special way of connecting with their fans, and it feels like they're our friends. They like really make an effort, it seems like, to connect to their fans, whether it's like on social media or doing like V-Lives, things like that. I think they really like bring you in. Like you feel like these are your friends. These are people you can talk to, even though they don't know you personally. It almost feels like they do. And I was just gonna say, like, I feel like they're one of the groups that have like the strongest connection with their fans. I might be biased, but that's just how I feel, like being one of their fans.
So, question is that, I mean, everyone finds this question very difficult, but
Okay.
which era or album or song of MONSTA X is your one and only favorite?
Oh, yeah, that is a difficult question. um, Gosh, I feel like my personal favorite, it's so hard to choose because actually I have a tattoo for MONSTA X, and it's for their title song Fighter.
Wow.
Like it's right here on my collarbone. I don't know if you can see it.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it
Wow.
says "Fight for Love." So I feel like I have to say that "Fighter" is my favorite title track of theirs.
So why is Fighter your favorite song of MONSTA X?
Um, I've always loved that song. Like ever since I got into it, I loved that song. And then it kind of took on new meaning over the course of me standing them, I guess. Like, especially the lyric, like, fight for love, really stuck to me. Because it's like, you should fight for the things that you love. Not necessarily like romantic love, but, even just like your friends. You love your friends. You should fight for them, defend them, things like that. Protect your friends. And it really, even though the song is more romantic, to me it like felt more like you stand up for the things you love and like believe in that.
Aww, that's so inspiring to me.
Thank you.
Fight for love, great, that's amazing. So that was a hard question, right?
Yeah, no, it was really difficult.
Everyone finds that really difficult, and they just say like, can we choose like 3 at least?
I would have, and then I was like, let me just pick one.
Can you recommend me the best title song, just one, and the best
Just
B-side track?
Oh, okay. um, Gosh, I think, okay, so their best title song, I would say, is their newest one, Gambler, because they just keep getting better, like with time, I think. So like every newest one they put out is going to be the best one. But also it was produced and like written by Juhan, so that's extra special that he got to work on a title track. So I would say Gambler. I would recommend Gambler as their best title track. And for B-sides, Lost in the Dream is definitely one that I would recommend because I think the vocals are incredible, like the music is incredible. I feel like that song is just magical, really. So Lost in the Dream would be the first one that I would recommend for their B-sides. Did you say multiple B-sides or just one?
Just one.
Okay, yeah, so Lost in the Dream, definitely.
Great, thank you. I'm just making things tricky for you.
Yeah. It's okay, I'm ready.
Wow, okay, that's a good MONBEBE spirit. I love it.
Thank you.
You fight for love. Great.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so next question. I mean, I can kind of tell by looking at your background, but who is your bias and why?
Okay, I have 2 biases, but I'll stick to my first bias, who is Kihyun. I'll make it easy. Kihyun was my first bias. Like the day I started standing MONSTA X, I fell in love with him. And how do I explain why I chose Kihyun? I just think first of all, he's like really hardworking. He's so hardworking, and it's really inspiring, like how much he pushes to work hard and to show the best side of himself. But he's also like so sweet. He's always like on social media, on Fan Cafe, he's like, "Good morning, MONBEBE, how are you today? Like, take care today." And then at night, he's like, "Good night," And I remember there's like one specific thing that he had posted, and it was in Korean, and then he took the time to translate it into English so that we could all understand it. And to me, that was such a sweet gesture because he didn't have to do that, but he did it for us.
That's so sweet.
And I think about that a lot. It's just so sweet. And like when MONBEBE is like write him letters on Fan Cafe, a lot of the time he answers them, and he's like, if they're asking him for advice, he gives advice. He's just seems like a very sweet, genuine person. And also on like a more minor note, he loves dogs, and I love dogs. And I think I trust people who like dogs very much.
I understand exactly what you mean.
Good, good. I'm not crazy.
No, you're not crazy. Dog lovers cannot be a bad people.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. So yeah, that's why Kihyun is my bias.
Great. Well, you said you have a second bias, and I think we should give some moment and some appreciation to your second bias too. So please
Yeah.
tell me, who is your second bias and why is he your second bias?
So Minhyuk is my second bias.
Mm-hmm.
He, I actually, so I saw them in concert in 2018,
Mm-hmm.
and he, at the end, they say a little speech, and in his speech, he literally said, he said, "I'm not a special person, but you make me special. Like you, the fans, make me special." And I was just so touched. I was like, "That's not true. Like you're a special person, like just because we're your fans doesn't make you're special by yourself. And I remember that was like the turning point for me. I was like, wow, I love him. Like, I want him to know how special he is, even without us, just by himself. Um, but also, I think like Kihyun, he's very sweet, very like, he's much more energetic, but he's like the sunshine of the group. And how do you not love the sunshine in the group?
I agree.
And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and he's just like a huge inspiration to me because he's an artist as well, like a visual artist. He paints and things, and I also do make art. So, like, wow, I get a lot of inspiration from him and his art.
That's so great. So, you said you got a lot of inspiration and you had a lot of touching moments with Kihyun and Minhyuk. So, how did they affected your daily life, or how did they change your life?
Wow, that's a difficult question. um, I think this goes for both like Kihyun and Minhyuk, but also I think MONSTA X as a whole. Um, they've like ever since I've started standing them, I started standing them 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I don't remember. It was a while ago. But ever since then, they've kind of been like a constant in my life, like a constant source of happiness in my life. And that's really how they affect like my day-to-day life. I know that if I'm upset or if I'm going through a difficult time, I can always just watch a MONSTA X video, and for that moment, life is all right. Like I'm happy, things are going well, and then when life is going well, when I'm happy in my day-to-day life and I watch MONSTA X, then I'm just happier. So it's always a win-win kind of. So definitely just having them like as a constant and knowing that they're there, on YouTube or like on Spotify, however, is always a relief, I guess.
That's great. Just like their B-side, stand up, everything will get better.
Yes, exactly. I listened to stand up a lot when like things got stressful, especially with the pandemic and stuff. It's like I'm gonna listen to stand up. I'm gonna feel better afterwards.
Yes, I definitely agree. That's such a great and inspirational and mood-changing song.
Yeah, definitely.
I see. So, well, you said that MONSTA X makes you happy or happier, and they just become like the source of your happiness.
Yeah.
And that's just, I love hearing that. It's just so great. Okay, so another question is that you got a chance to see their concert back in 2018.
Yeah.
So could you please share like your memories or like happy moments of all that concert episode?
Oh yeah, for sure. So it was in 2018, and my sister and we both love MONSTA X. We traveled to New Jersey to see them, so it was about like a 4-hour ride. And that was also like one of my first K-pop concerts. I had seen like a couple other groups, but I was still very new to the scene. And remember like I got, cheap tickets, so I was far away, but I still just remember the happiness, like seeing them coming on stage and like performing all the songs. And even now I look back at it, I'm like, that was such a good day. I was so happy. It was so much fun. I remember like very specific moments from the concert too. Like they did like a unit stage. Um, and I remember Kihyun came out and he was the first one to come out on stage. And I was just like, oh my God, like this is happening. This is real. Like they're real people.
They're alive.
Yeah, like they're, oh my God, like I had watched videos of it, but I'd never seen it. So I was like, oh my God. And like when they played Lost in the Dream, I remember I get like really emotional over music. So I started crying.
Aww.
And I was crying. And I was crying because I really loved that song. So to see it live was amazing. So first I was crying because I was just overwhelmed, like so happy. And then I started crying because my eyeliner got in my eyes, so it was hurting. So I was just like crying from happiness and then crying because I was just, my eyes hurt. And I remember like there was some people, like some MONBEBE sitting next to me and they were like, why are you crying so much?
Oh my God, that's so
but
funny.
It's a memory. I definitely won't forget that moment.
Definitely. You were just crying because you were so happy and emotional, and then you're like, oh my God, my eyeliners.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so funny. So did you go there with your sister, or did you get to meet other, like, your, like, I would say, like, friends on Twitter or anything like that?
I actually wasn't super involved in like Twitter communities, and I didn't know very many people who liked MONSTA X as well at the time. So it was just me and my sister. But then like we went there and we met so many different people, and everyone was just so friendly and accommodating. And so I made friends after the show, but no one that I had like before the show. Yeah, so that was lovely too.
I see. You got to meet all those MONBEBEs who love MONSTA X.
Yeah, no, it was so nice because I don't really have friends like in real life who like K-pop. So to be surrounded by people who love not only K-pop but also my favorite group was so much fun.
That's amazing. That's an amazing experience.
Yeah, it was really great. I look back at it so fondly.
Okay, so could you describe your life as a MONBEBE, or if that's a difficult question, describe yourself as a MONBEBE in one phrase.
Okay, so my life as a MONBEBE is happier and full of people who I love and who love me.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing.
Thank you.
I think that should be the title of our interview. Great, thank you for sharing that. So, next stage is that it's your time to show off your albums or merch or photo cards. This is your time. Show to the world, like, hey, look at my merch.
Okay, for merch, actually my albums are in the other room, but I do have my light stick here. It's like the version 1 light stick, but I like it because you can open it up, so I put like little origami butterflies in it.
That's so pretty.
There's like little butterflies in it, so when you shake it around, it like kind of makes noise.
Oh, I didn't know you could open the top for version 1.
Yeah, you can like, if you like put a knife in and you just pop it open, you can remove this top part. It's like
I see.
this part. Yeah, so I was very scared when I opened it. I was scared of breaking it, but it all went well.
That's great. Thank God.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what I would have done. But I have like this boy here. He's too far. So I have, this one's Minhyuk's, and I have Kihyun's as well.
Oh, so cute.
I like, actually this one I bought in Seoul.
Oh,
I
really?
was in Seoul for like a study abroad program a couple years ago,
Mm.
and so I carried him all the way back with me in my suitcase.
All the way back to
So,
DC.
yeah, so he's well traveled.
Oh, wow.
Um, so these I love them. They're so like goofy looking.
I know they're really cute.
And definitely I have their albums. They're in a different room, so I don't know if you want me to show you. Um,
It's okay if it's in the other room. You can, I mean, just by looking at the wall, it's amazing.
yeah, I really like the posters. I really like posters in general, so it works out.
What are some your favorite like merch item that you have?
Definitely these guys. These guys are so cute. But I also this where is it? Okay, so for their fan con this year,
Hmm.
Hyungwon designed scrunchies
Hmm.
like for your hair, and I was like, that's so clever because it's merch, but I can use it as well.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's like handy. So I really liked that. I thought that was really smart. Um, Favorite merch. Other than that, like I love posters. I think you can
Mm,
tell.
I
I
see.
definitely say yeah, like the posters that come with albums, great. I love it.
So, to sort of wrap up the interview, do you have last word to say to Monster X?
Oh, um, I think to MONSTA X, I would really just want to say like thank you. Like thank you for being there. Thank you, even though you don't know me personally, you've changed my life. You've made my life happier, and I'm so grateful for that. And I've met like one of my best friends ever because we're both MONBEBEs. So had I not met MONSTA X, I would never have met her. And she's really important in my life. There, and MONSTA X have just brought me so much happiness. And I think a simple thank you is not enough, but it's a start. Definitely, like, just thank you for existing.
Wow, well, thank you for sharing your opinions and episode and honest thoughts about Monster X. I was truly touched.
Thank you.
And like I said, I'm personally a K-pop fan too, so I love hearing like people's love for their favorite group. It's just so exciting. Well, thank you so much for having an interview with me today.
All right, thank you for speaking with me.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, actually, I mean, I love talking about MONSTA X, so it's perfect.
Well, okay, thank you so much for spending your time with us, and we hope to see you in the future.
Yeah, hopefully. Bye. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.
So, we met Maya from Washington, D.C., US today and talked about her favorite group, MONSTA X. It was very inspiring that she shared her love and stories about MONSTA X, and isn't it fun to talk about your favorite artist? If you want to talk about your favorite artist and promote them, keep your eyes on Who's Fans' official Twitter account. Every month, we upload a form to join the Who's Fan Fanterview, and that's your chance. That was Who's Fan Fanterview, and I'm Ashley. Let's see you in the next episode. Bye!